Hey, so today I'm going to do an overview of the internship interviewing process at Tesla and kind of what my experience was like and some of the things that I found were specific to Tesla that may be helpful to you if you're wanting to prepare for a Tesla internship interview. So I applied to Tesla in September of last year and I heard back from them in October. So I applied via Handshake, which I think I've had a lot of success with Handshake and hearing back from companies and getting interviews, so I would highly recommend to any university student. With Tesla, I think LinkedIn's also very important. Last week, during like a lunch workshop, recruiters at Tesla showed us some of the LinkedIn searches they do and why they think LinkedIn's important and how to use it. So I can say from the Gigafactory 1 at Tesla perspective, that LinkedIn is also a good way to try to get an interview at Tesla. So when I heard back from Tesla in the end of October, they wanted to do an interview right away. So it was a 30-minute phone interview was the first interview. And they sent me a little packet of information about how to prepare for the interview and so forth. A lot of it was pretty generic stuff. One thing I did find interesting was they talked about how they want to hire people who are really passionate about the company. And like, obviously that's every company wants to do that, but I think they really were trying to hit home, like, know exactly what Tesla does. It's a pretty well-known company, and there's a certain subset of people who are extremely passionate about what Tesla does, and I think they wanted, interviewees to show that they were a part of that group. So the first interview, 30-minute phone interview, wasn't too bad. No like coding questions. So I was applying for an automation controls engineering position, not a pure software engineering position. So that may have been part of it. But no coding questions. But to make up for that, I think they were able to test, my technical skills by, when I was explaining different projects in my resume, they really drilled deep into what were the technical aspects of the project. They asked beyond just like what language we're using. They were asking really deep questions about the projects. With the robotics projects, asked me different questions about the microcontroller, why I made this decision, why I made that decision, and then what were my roles in those teams to really make sure I wasn't. I was really explaining what role I had, and I wasn't BSing anything. So that was the main thing I took out of that first interview. I felt pretty good about it. Wasn't sure if I was going to get the offer or not. So I was actually pretty happy when I heard back from them and heard that I had a second interview, because I thought I could use this to really show that more of my qualifications might be a good fit for the job. So for the second 30-minute interview, it was a little bit different. A lot more questions about the specific job description. So with Tesla on their website, they had like automation controls engineering intern position or whatever, and they had all the requirements that they wanted, the qualifications. And they basically just went through those and checked if what my sort of experience with those qualifications were. So it was like FANUC robots, PLCs, and to be honest, I didn't have very little experience with those with projects for PLCs or FANUC robots. So my approach there was trying to show that I could use the skills that I have and the things I'd learned from other projects and apply it to these things. So one suggestion I have if you're going to interview a Tesla is know the description, the job description pretty well, and the job qualifications. And if you don't have experience in one of the things that they're asking for, be prepared to talk about it and explain why that's going to be okay and you'll still be able to contribute to the company. So after that interview, I didn't get the offer yet. They sent me an email saying, like, we thought your first two interviews went well, but could you write like a few paragraphs on why you'd be a really good fit at Tesla and why you'd be able to contribute, and we will send out to management, and they will make the final decision on whether you're hired or not. So I wasn't surprised by this. I had heard that Tesla had done this. So I wrote my few paragraphs and ended up getting the offer. So it all worked out well. Some suggestions I have for the few paragraphs is really focus on, with any sort of experience or projects that you've done that you're going to talk about specifically your role and why, you know, that experience, that project, that class, that internship is going to make you a good fit and be able to contribute at Tesla. So yeah, that was my interviewing experience at Tesla. I hope I hit on a few of the things that were unique to the Tesla interviewing experience, and hope to do more videos about what it's been like to actually be here at Tesla and intern here. I've loved the experience. I think Tesla is one of the best companies that you can intern for, and hopefully I'll talk about some of the reasons why that is in another video.